Hey everyone, it's Kim Ainari. You are at Paradigm Theories, and that is one of my YouTube channels. And I'm also at Kim's Tarot, KIMSTAROT, at Rockin' the Tarot. And this video will be uploaded on both channels. How's everyone doing today? It's November 2nd, 2023, and I thought I would just hop on a little bit. Um, I want to talk a little bit about paranormal um, and that phenomenon that a lot of people experience in their lives. And if you haven't experienced anything like that, and that's okay too. So I wanted to talk about my first experience with what I feel was a ghost of a little girl. And the reason I'm bringing this up is my channels, or my channel Rockin' the Tarot, is really about all things that interest me, all topics. And I wanted to come on. It's really early in the morning to leave for work in a bit, but so I wanted to hop on and talk about my first experience. I must have been around 4 years of age. And my grandparents did very well for themselves, and both sets of my grandparents. And they owned an apartment complex in Los Angeles. And this apartment complex had like 4 units. One of the buildings had 4 units on one side and 4 units on the other side. And in the middle was a beautiful, um, like, area with trees. And it was just really fun to grow up there. I was very, very fortunate. And so at that time, I guess there was no fear. I remember my great grandmother. My great grandmother and her daughter lived in the building next to us downstairs that we owned. And then um, my mother and I lived in the building. I mean, it was in like 3 minutes just to walk back and forth in between the units. Um, Lived upstairs. So there were many times that I visited my grandmother, my great grandmother actually, and her name was Honey. That was her nickname. And I remember, because mom and I lived upstairs. I think my brother was in school. My brother was 5 years older than I am almost. And so, long story short, I remember I was at my great grandmother's house with her daughter. And I remember I was like, I either had to be close to 4 years of age or four. And I was sitting by the window and I could see the stairs, the back stairs leading up into our apartment. So I was just staring at the stairs. Why, I don't know. I should have been playing, but maybe my brother wasn't home and I didn't have anybody to play with. And I remember looking up and I saw this blonde little girl. I'll never forget it. She had a wide brim hat on. She had white stockings on and a really beautiful dress. And she was going up the stairs and she went into my mom's apartment. I remember, and I'm getting chills and I'm talking because she knows her spirit. I'm talking about her. I remember running out the front door, through the complexes in between the units, running up the stairs, and the door was open. It was not locked. It was crazy, right? This was in the 60s. And running into my house looking for this little girl. This was like a 3-bedroom home, and I looked everywhere for her. And the last bedroom I went to, my mother was sleeping. I woke her up. And I remember saying, Mom, where is she? And my mom was like, what? I said, the little girl. She goes, what are you talking about? I said, there's a little girl in our house. I can't find her. And my mother's like, I don't even think she got up. She didn't get up to you, and she's like, there's no one in this house but you and I. There's no little girl. And the reason why I was asking her is because I wanted to play with her. I feel that that was my first psychic experience of seeing somebody that had passed. This apartment complex, we also owned cottages in another part of Southern California. Like I said, my mother's parents did very well for themselves. Even my dad's parents did very well for himself, and that was the Filipino side of the family. But this was kind of strange to me because when I think back, and I would tell my mother the story, um, she would remember it. She goes, I remember you coming up to me asking me. So I feel as parents and somebody, if you have younger children and they have playmates, um, that sometimes it could be a spirit guide or somebody that has passed. I never really think about that little girl, except that I'm thinking about her today. Obviously, she died very young. I feel like she was sick and died, and she used to live in this apartment complex, and her parents, and she might have been a tenant, or maybe she was visiting. I haven't really delved into it to figure it out. But yeah, it's so I always say that go with the flow, go with your intuitive side. And some people will say, well, I use my intuitive side and I just don't know, because you're frustrated because you're wanting answers right away. And sometimes just meditating and just slowing your brain down, things will come to you, and things will happen for you in a way that will open up your third eye. And so practice it. Just practice it, and see what happens. Get a set of tarot cards. When I used to teach tarot card reading at a wellness center, um, part of my students' homework would be looking for a celebrity that they liked and followed on Instagram or X or Twitter now. I mean, which is X now, Twitter's now X, or Facebook, and follow their social media and throw out the tarot cards. See if you can see what they're going to say in their social media, even if it's a personal assistant that's throwing out things to enhance that actress or actor's um, social media. You might be able to start developing your third eye, your intuitive side, because you will already figure out what's going on, and probably behind the scenes, if they're on drugs, if they're fooling around on their husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, if there's other things going on. It's one way to practice it. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. I hope you all have a great day today. I'm looking forward to it. And I will come back soon and talk later. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.